Hey, what's going on? This is David Taub with NextLevelGuitar.com, and I'm here at NAMM 2019 Anaheim, and I'm here with guitar instructor extraordinaire, guitar player, Steve Stine. Steve.
Hi, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. How's your NAMM going so far?
It's awesome. It's always fun because you get to see everybody like you and hang out with people and just see all the new products, and it's great.
Awesome, and I'm sure because you're from North Dakota.
I am.
And I know you were telling me it was like 30 below when you left, and now you get to be in beautiful Southern California. What's that like?
It's awesome, except my wife is at home in 30 below weather, and she's just not very happy about the whole thing.
That is like really cold, dude. Does it have to get that cold, like 30 below?
When it gets that cold outside, you don't go outside unless it's just to the car and then to the grocery store or something like that.
So tell me a little bit about some of the things you're excited about NAMM, some of the things you're excited about seeing and checking out.
Well, this year I'm here with Hughes Kettner. That's one of the big things. They've got a new amp called the Black Spirit 200, which is just a lot of fun to play. I have a Grandmeister at home, which I really love, but they gave me this Black Spirit 200, which I've been exploring. So that's been really fun, and we were up at the booth kind of messing with that a little bit, and you know, just the new products, like looking at the new, I love Ibanez, I love Paul Reed Smith. There's just lots of really great stuff. Taylor's got some really great stuff. So it's always nice to look at those things and really just network and connect with people. Since I am from North Dakota, I don't get to see you guys all the time.
I know, we got to get you out here more.
That's right, that'd be great.
Now, I haven't played through that new Hughes Kettner, but I heard about it, and apparently one of the things is you're able to dial in, it's supposed to have like a lot of variety, a lot of different sounds you can get out of that, right? And it has that technology. It's not too, but can you tell me about that?
Yeah, well, the big thing with the Hughes Kettner stuff is that they're not trying to model other amps, right? They're just doing what they do. So it's the sounds like the Grandmeister, you've got a clean, a crunch, a lead, and an ultra channel. Well, this has the same thing. So you're not going to dial in, you know, like a Vox or something like that, right? But the three coolest things that I find about it, there's this sag button, which is almost like a compression. That is it's just really super cool to dial in, like when you're doing leads and stuff like that. And then the other thing is that they've had the built-in red box and you know, cab sims and things like that, but they've upgraded it so it has more cab sims. And then the other really cool thing is that they used to, with the Grandmeister, you used to have to run this device to Bluetooth it. You don't need that anymore. It literally just connects to your iPad or whatever it is you're using. So it's really, like for guys like me, it's great because you can take it out to a small show and use it on stage. Then I can bring it home, I can, you know, load it down to a single watt or turn it off or whatever I need to do my direct recording for my videos and all that kind of stuff. Or if I'm just practicing at home and I don't want it to be really loud, I can soak it just a little bit higher than that. So it's what I love about their stuff is it's practical for someone like me or you or whoever in 2019, you know?
Right, so you're not even really oftentimes using a cabinet. You're just running direct using the cab simulator.
That is correct. I have it sitting on a cab at all times when I'm at home, and it's plugged in, but I don't even use it. So yeah, it's really great. So when I'm doing my video stuff, you know, I don't like bleed through with my vocal mic and all that kind of stuff. So I'll just run it direct into my audio interface, do all my recordings that way. And of course, I've got the foot controller for it, so I've got my clean and crunch and all that set up. So it's just really convenient.
That's awesome. And you mentioned videos, so I know you, like myself, we've been doing this a long time, and we've been putting content up a long time, and we're going to continue to do it. So for you, how do you find new inspiration to continually put out good content and stay relevant? As you know, because things have changed over the past 5 years, which have changed 5 years before that. So what have you found through that?
The big thing for me is to constantly stay inspired in practice. Like I find new players all the time. That's what's so great about social media and YouTube and things like that, is I find players all the time that I go, wow, I've never heard of this dude before or this person before, and I'll start learning things, you know, like you do when you're younger, like we teach people to do.
Yeah.
And I do that, and it's just really exciting. It keeps me inspired. It keeps me always learning something new and approaching the fretboard. And the other big thing is that, which I always love to try and teach people too, is doing smaller bits of information. You know, sometimes you need this big road to learn this, you know, the fretboard or something like that. But sometimes you just need something small that gets you inspired I love that kind of stuff, man. So I'll learn a song or learn a riff or learn a lick from, whoever it might be, from Andy James to Mateus Asado or whoever it is.
Right on.
Sure. and then that will inspire me to start thinking differently about something I'd like to do.
That's awesome, and you're doing the videos, obviously, you're doing the courses on Guitar Zoom, you're teaching classes, you were telling me about that. Yep. What other, and obviously you're playing in bands and whatnot, anything I missed? What else you got going on?
I mean, actually my life is far less busy now than it was, 10 years ago. So basically it's creating content, trying to respond as much as I can to people on social media and things that need help with stuff, and creating content being courses. Guitar Zoom's got this new revamped guitar club thing for 2019, which I'm really excited about. And then the stuff on social media, YouTube, all that stuff. And so that's kind of the big thing is doing that. And then I play in bands, but I don't travel a lot anymore. I don't do that whole grind anymore. I'm home with my family a lot, which is great.
Hi again, Sammy here from nextlevelguitar.com. If you would like a free killer video guitar lesson and coinciding ebook, click on the link below and we will send you one absolutely free from Next Level Guitar. And if you got a second, please subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. Subscribing to our channel really helps us to keep the content coming.
I live in Fargo. I grew up in Fargo, North Dakota. And then a few years ago, I moved out to this little town called Kindred, and I teach classes out there. I like to stay fresh, I like to, because if you like, I taught for 30 years, I taught guitar lessons and guitar classes. I was a professor at one of our local colleges, all that kind of stuff. And then when you stop teaching, it kind of dries up. So I was like, no, I need to keep going. But instead of doing just one-on-one class or lessons, I just teach classes out there. And it's really great. I love the whole light bulb thing when you're talking about something and somebody goes, oh, I get it,
Oh yeah, definitely, and I could totally relate to what you're saying, because I'm the same way. I used to teach, before the internet, 30 students privately a week, and then you could reach more people online, so you turn to that. But I always do keep a few students in the hopper privately, because I found, like you, it keeps you sharp.
That's right.
It just teaching privately, even if it's just a couple students, it really, like you said, doesn't dry up, and it really keeps you sharp.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and not only keeps you sharp for your skills, but that human interaction, which is just, I live for that stuff. I love teaching online, but I also I miss being with people and talking to them and looking at them and having, I love that kind of stuff. So it's nice to be able to do that.
I know, tough question. Favorite piece of gear?
Oh, my guitar, for sure. I play Ibanez.
Which one?
Well, I've been playing Ibanez Gems since 1987, and I bring it with. It's sitting on the floor. I don't know if you can see it, but I bring it with. I can't live without it. Like I can swap out a lot of things in my life, but it's really hard to, look at me. I'm 5'2". I can't play Les Paul's worth a darn. Mine is my guitar.
And then what about is your favorite amp all time the Hughes Kettner stuff?
Yeah. I think, it's hard to say. I play a lot of different amps. Like, there's a buddy of mine from Italy.
Right, I saw that the Italian amp. How do you say?
Barba. Mezzo. It's an amazing. There's so many amazing amps out there.
So many.
Yeah. The difference for me is that the Hughes Kettner is practical for what I do for a living.
Right.
Where the Mezzo Barba is amazing, and I love it, and I own one, and I love to crank it up, and I love to play. But it's not practical for, sitting in my studio and doing my recordings and all that kind of stuff. So I have different amps for different things, and I found that the Hughes Kettner, because before I was associated with Hughes Kettner, I used to always use software, Positive Grid and Amplitude, all that sort of thing. And what I love about this is it's kind of taken the place of some of that. Don't get me wrong, I still use those. But it's kind of taken the place of that because it's just easier for me to flick the power on, I got my pedal, and I'm ready to go, and I've got great tones, So whether I'm practicing, whether it's silent and it's recording, or whether I'm doing a smaller show, I'd probably bring that Mezzo Barba out for a big show, but for smaller shows, that Hughes Kettner is absolutely perfect.
One piece of advice can you tell the student who's learning, maybe trying to get their playing to the next level, who's kind of at the point where, they learned a little bit of lead guitar, but all their leads are kind of sounding the same and all are sounding like scales. I get that question a lot. Like,
right.
What is your one piece of advice for the student trying to get over that?
To be honest, I think the biggest thing is that people, because of social media and the easy access to information, people have a tendency to overindulge. So they're trying to learn so many things, and like they'll study something for 3 days, and then they'll see something, and it's like bright light, and then all of a sudden they're off doing something else. And I tell you, I just think you have better success. It might be fun, and if it's working for you, great. But if it's not working for you, I think one of the most important things is slow down. Like really try and learn to absorb. If you're in the process of learning chords, for instance, don't just take off and convince yourself that you got to start learning scales to solo. Like spend time learning how to play chords, spend time learning how to strum and develop your rhythm and learning songs and whatever. And if you are moving into scales, start with something like pentatonic and really absorb there are amazing things you can do with that scale before someone convinces you that you need modes now or something like that. So I think that's the biggest thing is people just move too quickly. And I get it. I mean, I do it too. That's why I said when you first asked me, I love doing small pieces of information, and I'll take that little thing that I learn and I'll practice it for 2, 3, 4 weeks and really just try and change the way I play,
Have you ever had an embarrassing moment on stage or in a video, perhaps?
I have had an incredible amount of embarrassing moments on stage. Some I cannot talk about, but there have been ones like I was playing at a show once, and the bass player goes out. He's the lead singer bass player, so he goes out on this catwalk, the ego stage, if you will, and he's out there and he's playing, and I want to be all cool, so I come up behind him, and he doesn't know I'm there. So he cracks me in the head with the headstock of his bass. So and I didn't pass out or anything, but I had this huge welt on my forehead. And I've got many of those because that's just the way it goes, yeah.
That is funny. That reminds me of when I was playing on stage once, and I was in this band one time with a female singer, and she had really long hair. Yeah. And we got too close together, and she whips her hair around, and it gets caught in my tuning pegs. So she's like, did you?
Yeah,
we're like connected together, and I can't get it out because she has all this hair.
Yeah, I was in a twin guitar band for a long time. So he's standing next to me and he's jamming and I'm playing and we're doing whatever. And I do a lot of headbanging and stuff. So and the same thing, it just wraps around. So now I'm stuck to it. Yeah, there's just
those tuning pegs just eat up hair, and you can't get it out because they're so sharp from the ends of the strings, and they get wound in there, and it's big trouble. It might look cool, kind of, the guy drags you around by your hair, though.
It is big trouble. I mean, yeah. So this is why I have long hair, because I live in North Dakota and it's 30 below zero, so it keeps me wearing like a bear.
Steve, I appreciate your time. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. I hope you can come out to Southern California more in the future. And we wish you the best with everything you got going on. Stay warm and keep on rocking.
Awesome. Thank you, buddies. Thank you so much.